here.
I'm Hispanic. You got a problem with Hispanics?
No, but his family came over here so he could have a better life. And look at him. He's going against his own people.
He's not
going
wrong.
against anybody.
Yes, he is.
He's going for his own people.
No, he's not.
Most
He's
Mexicans-
arresting
protecting them.
people.
The shit that they're
putting
doing in
people
LA?
in jail.
No.
They're putting people, they're sending them across the country because his family.
They can go through a port of entry.
His family came over here with no papers. His family tree, his ancestry.
How do you know he's not Italian?
Same thing. They came over here with no papers.
You gotta obey the law.
I'm glad we can still do this, but as of Saturday, after this big parade, there's military now in the streets.
Good.
And these fucks are up in LA.
Now you're using profanity again.
So what?
We're educated. Use your words.
It's still a free
Use
country.
your educated words.
I'm going to educate you folks since this gentleman doesn't want to actually engage in civic discourse. He just wants to be an advocate.
Propaganda,
So-
propaganda. That's what it is, man.
We don't mind what you're doing.
Thank you. We appreciate the support. So last fiscal year 2024, we had, here in San Diego sector alone, we had folks that entered without inspection into the United States from
Trash
over
boats.
120 different countries from around the world.
We saw
That's
it.
just about every single continent with the exception of Antarctica. So for this gentleman, and I use the term loosely, for this gentleman
You can call me
to
whatever
say
you
that, you know, my mother was actually from Iraq. My dad is actually third generation Hispanic. He served in the Navy.
There you go. There you go. But his family
he met my mom. He met my mom.
So then he's fourth generation.
He met my mom when he was in the Middle East, serving this great country. So, I'm.
But his
Did he meet
family
your mom in the Gulf
came
War?
with no papers.
Maybe.
I was in the Gulf
Were
War.
you?
Hey.
So
Then you guys should
So
know
anyway,
better. You should all know better then. You should know better.
No, my
Because
point
we
is that-
actually got to go see what's happening out in the world, and we're not just privileged people talking on things we don't have a full understanding of.
100%. And so it's one thing to engage in civic discourse and actually have a conversation, and it's another thing to show up like you did and just try to agitate me or anybody else. And it's not going to work with me. It may work with another Board of Trade agent, but I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work with me.
Really?
So, yeah. And
So
I'd be more than glad. I'd be more than glad
Your father's
I'd be more than glad to
family-
answer your questions. If you're actually going to ask me questions, I'd be more than glad to get on camera and answer your questions.
No.
But if you're just going to try and agitate me, I'm not going to engage. 'Cause
Your
it's
father's
pointless.
family, generations back, came with no papers.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I don't
They
know
didn't.
that either.
In those times, that's what they did.
It's possible. There's a lot of folks.
So you're gonna go through your whole family tree and say papers.
No, I don't know, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
folks
there
that came
you go.
in.
You don't know. I know.
A lot of folks
because
that we all know
that's
came
what
in
happened.
through Ellis Island. From I think some of you mentioned Italy, right? The Italians, the Irish, different folks from around.
Yeah,
the world.
and they were persecuted too. Nobody
possible.
wanted them here in America, and
It's
that was a
possible.
problem.
It's possible, but I think that,
The
and I'm going
first-
to be completely honest with you. I think that 100% nothing. And I think that the way that you're approaching it is part of the problem in America today.
Really?
Is that 100%
Freedom of speech?
negative.
Freedom of attitude?
No, agitation.
I'm not agitating. It's agitating you. I don't care about
It's
you.
not
You're a
impacting me
public
the least
servant.
bit, but it's not-
You
it's not-
can't.
I think you're agitating.
So what? So
It
what?
looks like agitation to
three
me.
folks here stating
Somebody
that
doing their
or-
job and
yeah.
you're agitating.
So
Come
what?
on, man.
I have a freedom of expression, freedom
All
of
right.
speech.
You
Do
do.
it.
But that's
But-
not part of the solution, though.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's-
trying to get a solution.
that's the
I'm
problem.
trying to
And that's
get
the
you to
problem.
admit that you're going against your own people.
Admit.
You are.
Okay.
I want you
As
to
part of your
admit.
people, I don't think you're going
Because
against
he
us.
won't admit it.
You're not going against us.
Thank
Come
you
on.
guys. Appreciate the support.
That's great.
Okay.
But not
10-4.
everybody supports
Folks,
you.
I'd love to stay here and talk,
Yeah,
but
we
I
got
actually
it.
have work to
You
get
got
done.
work
So
to do.
God bless you guys. Have a good
12 hours up at Shelter Island, not doing anything. 12 hours. No binoculars, no infrared, just sitting on your phones, getting food, and munching out, collecting your overtime.
Did they find the jet ski? Yeah. Awesome. Is there an operator or just the jet ski?
Gee, guys, that was happened over over 2 hours
the,
ago when the call came out at 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, really?
Aren't you going to turn on your body camera?
They're going to try and, work for it. Yes.
So now go up to Cordova Street and collect your overtime and play on your phone.
Oh, is he really? It's funny because I was actually going to answer his question, but he didn't want to actually have a conversation.
Oh, you're a great guy. Bunch of cowards.
Oh, really? Oh, I had no clue. So
Yeah.
you went down there. He had a camera. I'm like, oh, I'll talk to him. But it was
Quit
like
trying to
zero-
explain
zero
yourself.
ability or zero want to actually engage in civic discourse.
That's what he does.
And the folks down there were super supportive. So.
Whoa, 3 people out of how many millions? How come you guys got to be protected by the Army and the National Guard? You guys are a bunch of cowards.
No, sir. I would argue that the only coward is you because you don't want to engage in conversation. You want to try and come over and
I'm
agitate.
confronting a man who has a gun, and you're telling me I'm a coward? You could shoot me right now and say, "Hey,
Why? That's the
you made
craziest
an
thing I've ever
overt,
heard.
you made an
That's the
overt
craziest-
motion toward my whisk."
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
You could, and you get away with it.
That's
Qualified immunity.
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
Hey, listen, but again, I'd love to actually have a conversation with you, and I'd be more than glad to
Why?
answer your questions.
I've already heard your
But if that's
propaganda.
not anything
You
that
just
you're
want to
interested in-
admit
I have to get
that
back to work.
Yeah,
actually.
you're racist, man. Going against your own people.